I've just been through a situation which I've been through a nightmare with some neighbours, which lasted. Well, actually, it lasted from February 13, 2022, when they moved in across the way, to July 20 to July 20, 2023. And absolute nightmare, living next to this cackling hyena. That's what he sounded like when he laughed. His voice had one volume, his laugh had one volume, and he had this karate chop sounding sneeze. And no empathy or sympathy for others, no etiquette, no consideration for other people. Okay, so you're watching this video because you've got a bad neighbour and you don't know what to do about it, or you want to know what to do. I can tell you what works. If you've got a bad neighbour and they start doing something which really annoys you, the best, okay, so you can put a note in their letterbox. Confronting them face to face, I have done that. It only goes so far and it only works for so long. I have done it with my neighbour who lived directly here. He just moved, and when he moved in he was really irritating me. My neighbour just here, he was, and then finally after 6 months of just really just putting up with some of his bad habits, I confronted him one day, and he was quiet as a mouse. He was 80% better after that, and we actually had started having conversations a few months after that. So, confronting them directly, you have to be assertive, polite yet stern. It can work. It can work. Now, you can also, which is what I did on 2 occasions, put a note in their letterbox. Does that work? It generally tends to irritate them. It tends to make them want to do it more. What happened was, my neighbour's balcony light was really irritating me. His balcony light on every night. It was really irritating. Finally, I waited too long to do something about it. He's gone now. He left 2 days ago. Best bloody thing that's happened around here. He left 2 days ago, up and left. And it's the 22nd of July 2023, and my classes say that it's 6:05 p.m. Okay. I wrote a long note, which could have compromised us here because my note was brutal. It said a lot of details in it. Because when I've got a bad neighbour, I notice everything that they do. I don't write it down. So I wrote I wrote a note which went for 1.5 A4 pages. But I didn't give them that note. I gave them a watered down version. So I gave them approximately 2 paragraphs. And I thought I was compromising myself. I thought I'll play it safe. Put it in a letterbox. I said a few things, and including, please keep your balcony light off of the evening as it causes us stress and irritates us. It disturbs us. That was in September of last year, 2022. Now, I thought, and that evening, because I put it in the letterbox in the morning, and I thought, this evening I'll get the balcony light. It'll be off. What happened? That balcony light went on earlier than it's ever gone on before. It went on earlier than it's ever been on before. I'm like, oh, you spiteful bastard. And so, a note in a letterbox can make them want to do it more. The arsehole keeps being an arsehole. Putting it under their door, I haven't tried that. I put it in a letterbox instead. So does it work? It can make them do it more. It might aggravate them. You might push their buttons even more. Telling the real estate, if you've got a good real estate agent that you get along well with, they'll take care of that. A good real estate agent will take care of it on the spot. Which happened with a few neighbours around here, was taken care of on the spot. So that can work, yes. If your bad neighbour owns, okay, this is something really important. if your bad neighbour owns their place, that's a huge problem. It can be a huge problem because they're there. You can't get rid of them. The police can only do so much. If they own to it, and you send them a letter, and they feel self-conscious after that, it embarrasses them. They may seek out another residence. They could seek out another residence. They might leave, or they might not leave. What happened with me was the second time I put the letter in his letterbox, the second time I did it, 4 days later he called the police on me. So the bully, called the police on me, the victim. It was late at night, it was 9:30, 4 days later. I was feeling very proud of myself for finally writing the second note. By the way, which was watered down, it was polite, it was funny, it actually related to a couple of my friends what it was. My partner thought it was elegantly written and funny. He didn't think so. And it was 9:30, I think it was a Tuesday night. The buzzer rang. I'm like, who the hell's that? Like, who is that? Went downstairs. They caught me totally off guard. And it was the police. And they said, have you been putting notes in your neighbour's letterboxes? I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I didn't say that to them. I'm like, I put a note in my neighbour's letterbox, and they came in. So they came into the foyer. We discussed it. There was a bit of a discussion. I was trying to get them to whisper, and they weren't. And it was a very vulnerable moment for me, the weakest moment I've ever had here. I had to tell them a few things to shut them up and get them the hell out of here. They said to me, he's really concerned about that you know his comings and goings. I'm his neighbour. His balcony's right opposite our balcony. Of course I know his comings and goings. Of course I do. He's my neighbour. And they said, but how would you know if his balcony light is on? I'm like, he's my neighbour. They said, you have curtains? I said, yes. They said, and does your curtains block out his balcony light? Yes, it actually does. It does. But that's not the point. And then they were like, so how would you even know if he has his balcony light on? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to play this game. I said, because when I pull my curtains across, I say he's balcony light, and they looked at me. They were like, and they said, because he puts the time on his lamps. I said, but how would you know that? He's my fucking neighbour. Come on, please, come on. And so that's what they said. So that's what happened with that. The bully called the neighbour on me, the victim. Very aggressive guy, very spiteful guy. He pissed off now. 2 days ago they moved completely. They left. My note actually worked. So the note that I gave them on the 18th of June, they felt embarrassed. He felt embarrassed by it. Made him feel self-conscious. He left. It took him 4 weeks to get out of there. He left. I think they took him actually 3 nights to move. They did it in the early hours of the morning. Did it when no one could see them. But what I'm saying is this: if you've got a bad neighbour, that you can't handle, you can't tolerate them, I do have the answer for you. You've got to move. Find a new place. If you think that if you've got a great unit complex, you've just got a bad neighbour across the way, move if you can. Find another place to live. It generally takes about 3 months to find a place to live. If you want to stand up for yourself, you can put a note in their letterbox. You can call the police. Calling the police is a good idea because they can feel intimidated by that and threatened by that. You can call the police, although they might put up their own argument. You can call their real estate. You can call your real estate to call their real estate, or you can call their real estate. From my experience just now, my note in their letterbox worked. What did I say? I said, where is my note? Where is it? I said, the last 16 days here has been wonderful and peaceful without your big loud voice, without your big loud karate chop sneezing, and your big loud laughing. and without that balcony light on. Please keep your balcony light off, as it is highly disturbing. Actually, in fact, I said, your balcony light is not a lighthouse beacon for ships in the night. All it does is irritate me. I should have said all it does is disturb me. And I felt I was being polite when I said that. A note can work. If you write a note, you do have to try to make it polite, because if you don't, then they'll accuse you of harassing them. And even he accused me of harassing him. And my note was polite and funny. I thought it was funny. He didn't. It embarrassed him. He did leave. A loud individual with no filters, no etiquette, just no regard for anybody, no regard for anybody else. So now they could just rip it up, throw it in the bin. Is an arsehole really? They're the ones who are causing all the problems. I mean, they're the bully. They're the ones who are almost fearless. They don't care in a way. They don't care. So, they get the note, they read it, they laugh at it, rip it up. The good chance they just rip it up. I don't know if they're going to sit there and read it 10 times through. The irony is that the notes that I've written my neighbours, I've read them 10 times through before I gave it to them. Read it through 10 times. Sometimes I do 6 drafts. Should you type it out or should you write it out? I write it out. I tend to write it out. Because if you type it out, it sort of tells them you went to the trouble of typing it out and getting a printer and printing it out. And also they can see your furious handwriting, see how angry you are in your handwriting, although do try to make it legible. Another thing. There is another thing, no. There is another thing. There is another thing. Black salt. No one can be watching. The best time to do it is when no one's watching, so after midnight. If you are able to, which I can't do here, remarkably enough, couldn't do it effectively enough. You've got to put it around the pathways where they're always walking. So, preferably at their doorstep. Sprinkle a little bit of black salt and you say, I wish you well, I wish you the best. You can't be near me anymore. You cannot live here anymore. Don't wish them any harm. Do not wish them harm. Just say, I wish you well. If you can't fathom that, which I couldn't, just say goodbye. Goodbye. Please move on. Goodbye. Don't wish them any harm. Don't wish them harm. I managed to. I said, you have to move on now. Goodbye. You just have to move on. Sprinkle black salt on their pathways where they walk regularly, around their garage door, the front door of their unit, or their house. If it's their house. They cannot see you do this. Do not let them see you do this. It will not work if you let them see you do this. I did it. I actually did it here, and it inadvertently caused me a lot of problems because I sort of got caught, even though I was doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I don't even know if it worked in the long run. I think my note actually worked in the long run. My actual note that I gave them freaked him out, which it was supposed to do. Let me look at my battery. Battery's blinking on and off. December 14, 2022, 2:30 a.m. I went across the unit, across here, and I put black salt all under his balcony. I had no way of getting into the unit itself, all along his garage door, all on the garage door, and I kept saying, you need to leave here. You need to move on. You need to leave here. You cannot live here anymore. Goodbye. You need to be elsewhere. And that's what I said. Don't wish them harm. And I did that. He was away at the time. This is when he was away. He went away for Christmas. Thank fucking God he went away at Christmas. And I thought he was going to ruin our Christmas. Thought they were going to ruin our Christmas. They pissed off. They didn't ruin our Christmas. On December 25, so it was Christmas, and I thought, I don't think I did it well enough. I got to do it again. December 26th, 3 a.m. I went over there. And I did it more.